We come to you from the corner of 13th Avenue and Franklin Boulevard in Eugene, Oregon for the first game played in the new Matthew Knight Arena, home to the Oregon Ducks. After 84 years at wonderful McCourt, the pomp and circumstance comes to the beautiful new 12,500 seat arena, and they welcome the fans to come early to explore the concourses and historical tributes. They even have part of the McCourt floor. Fans can walk on in one of the concourses. Here are the comparisons, Marcus, of McCourt to the new Matthew Knight Arena.
Well, you see MacArthur Court opened in 1927. This one's opening up tonight, baby, right now. The concourse width is almost double. It's actually more than double. 4 restrooms. How do we get by with just 4 restrooms at MacArthur Court? 22 here at Matthew Knight Arena, and then the concession stands. You know, you can't go anywhere in this arena without having food thrown in your face, and that's a good thing.
Well, Phil Knight wanted to keep with the college theme and the passion, with a memorable entrance by the Duck mascot and entrances by the pit crew, the cheerleaders, and the Oregon marching band. And of course, Phil Knight with his white penny are here. They are been the contributors and the leading force in this building being built. Well, let's now go to Oregon Public Address announcer Don Essig.
And now, fans, we ask that you please stand, remove your hats, and join in the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by NBC's Sing-Off semi-finalists, our own University of Oregon, On the Rocks. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars, the perilous shining in the we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, their bursting gave proof through the rime that our flag was still there. Oh, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That was great. On the Rocks. Thanks, guys. We will guard the North and North. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opening celebration of the Matthew Knight Arena. It is indeed my pleasure to introduce tonight's very honored guests. Give a very special welcome to Penny and Phil Knight.
Penny doesn't speak, so it's just Phil. But for us, this is a very special night. Made more special by the fact that 12,500 of you, full capacity of this arena, are here on this inauguration. I gotta believe Matt's looking down, pleased, as my grandmother used to say, pleased as punch. And I'm sure that one of the things that makes him happiest is that so many family and friends showed up. And so many of them that I'm going to miss a lot of them and left some of them out, but I think a few are worth calling out. Over here, the three of his very best friends, the best man in his wedding, Steve Tallman, Jason Crakerud, and Sid Moore, sit side by side. Along with Judy Winslow, a friend of his since Hillsborough High School days. And up here is his cousin Brittany, if she's not busy running this whole show. And over here we've got uncles and aunts. We have Uncle Doug and Aunt Linda and Aunt Lucy. And then back here we've got Aunt Jean and Aunt Joanne and Uncle Mickey. And then in the front row, we have sister-in-law Donna and his cousins Ridley and Willow. And next to them is his widow Angie. And their two sons, Logan and Dylan. Next to them is Matt's son, Jordan, who is a sophomore at the University of Oregon. Jordan. Matt's son, Jordan. Did I say that right? And next to him, Matt's mom, Penny. There's truly hundreds of people that should be thanked for this building, and I'll spare you the hundreds, and by doing so omit some that I should have had. But I think a few of those are worth calling out. First, Dave Frohnmeyer, who had the courage to buy this plot of land for this very purpose, and got this arena started. And then, of course, President Richard Riviere, who got it finished. The arena took 2.5 years to build, and essentially we went through 3 athletic directors in that time. Pat Kilkenny, of course, and Mike Bellotti. And Rob Mullins. But the guy that did the heavy lifting in that group was Pat Kilkenny, who arranged the difficult financing and the construction. The architects were led by the man that was called in this morning's paper a genius, Bob Thompson. And for him, this was personal. And of course, many architects from Ellerbe Beckett, the world's best arena and stadium architectural firm out of Kansas City. The project was led by Eric Judson and Hoffman Construction. Hoffman Construction, led by three people, Matt Swain and Adam Bonner and Nathan Maroney, who lived 15 years next to Matt. Said, if you look down on the side of the field, the court's unusual design was done by Tinker Hatfield. And the theme was Deep in the Woods. And when Dana gets a couple of recruiting classes, those visiting teams will know they're deep in the woods. And lastly, to Todd Van Horn and Rosemary St. Clair, who designed the Matt logo. It's represented by the Japanese Torii, which is where Nike's original product line came from and virtually all of its financing. And Rosemary St. Clair, whose older sister babysitted for Matt on many times, made sure the top of the Torii was a grin that reminded her of Matt. The guys at Huff, there are 500 hard hats that worked on this project at any one time. And probably 15 of them came up to me and said, I may work on bigger projects, but I'll not work on one that needs any more. So this building for me is more than just about cement and glass and hardwood and concrete. There's emotion that went into this building, and I hope it carries forward. And I hope the main emotion that carries forward is joy. When the hundreds of thousands or even millions of people come out of this building after a great artistic performance or a great athletic performance, I hope they come out of here with a smile. For all of you students out here in this grand building, for all of you students in this grand building, I wish you a great 81 years.
Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome once again to the new Matthew Knight Arena. Stan Messing, your court announcer for tonight's first Pac-10 game between the USC Trojans and your Ducks of Oregon.
we'll preview the first game to be played in the new building, USC and Oregon. That's next. The first game of the new Matthew Knight Arena. Let's check out the opponent, the University of Southern California Trojans, brought to you by KFC. Stevenson, Vucevic will be a load inside. Simmons, a great defender. Fontan and Jones, underrated backcourt. Their coach is Kevin O'Neill. He's done a marvelous job under so much duress with the sanctions handed down before he got to USC. But the Trojans are 10-6 this year and 2-1 in conference play. Now a check of the Oregon starting lineups, also brought to you by KFC. Jeremy Jacob will get the start over the injured Jovan Catron. We'll need a big game from Singler. DeAndre Williams can light it up outside. They'll also need big outside games from Garrett Sim and Jonathan Lloyd. They are not big guards. There is Dana Altman in his first year after 16 years at Creighton, all-time winningest coach at Creighton. 13 consecutive postseasons, and that's what they want to see here. The first tip we see at Matthew Knight Arena is controlled by the Oregon Ducks, and there's a lot of fire in the young Ducks' eyes.
I thought that might have been a backcourt violation, but it's tough to see that backcourt line, that midcourt line, so we'll talk more about that. USC starting off in their man-to-man plug, pack-it-in defense.
And there is a whistle and a foul. And USC immediately forces a turnover, and it's E.J. Singler with his first foul of the game, and they need him on the floor. There's the midcourt line you're talking about.
Where is it? I mean, it's tough to see unless you're right on top of that, and I thought that tip went into the front court, ball thrown into the back court, but again, it's going to be something that the officials have got to get adjusted to as much as the players.
I've never heard that line before. You can't see the half-court line for the trees.
Oh, boy. Here we go. The first pun in Matthew Knight Arena.
It's E.J. Singler to inbounds.
First of way too many.
I'm working with you. This is Jonathan Lloyd. He is the point guard, and Garrett Sim is a good shooting guard. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers. Maybe the nerves a little much.
And that's what happens a lot of times. The home team gets so geeked, so pumped, try to put on a good show for this fired up, revved up home crowd.
Outside, the jumper is no good by Gio Fontan. He's been a little sharp after teams have adjusted to him defensively. He had a great start in his first 3 games after transferring from Fordham and eligible in mid-December.
Going to keep E.J. Singler out on the floor against Vucevic, not in the post, doesn't have an advantage down in the post.
They have not hit the iron on their first 3 attempts. First 3 possessions. On the baseline, it's Maurice Jones, no. Singler, yes, with the rebound.
The energy attacking the defensive glass by Singler on that play. Jacob's the last play.
Jonathan Lloyd misses the 3. Vucevic rebounding. He's a double machine that can get one every single night. Fontan with the pull-up. And we have no score in the first 2 minutes of this ball game.
You want to push, but you also got to be aware of controlling tempo. Oregon has not shot about 40% during their 6-game losing streak, so quality shots are a premium or a must for this basketball team, especially being shorthanded.
Jeremy Jacob, who must pick up the loss of Jovan Catron, and he takes it inside but misses. They are without Jovan Catron, who's a 6'6", 245-pound senior, out because of a calf injury, and they really need him. He's averaging 16 points and 6.5 rebounds per game. Dana Altman hopes he can have him by next week.
Well, and he's a double-team attraction. He attracts double teams down in the post, which opens up outside shooting for the Garrett Sims and the Jonathan Lloyd.
Stevenson misses. Good defense early, bad offense early. Can't leave it all on the court in this arena. Singler. Garrett Sim with the pull-up. He hits. That's the first bucket. Garrett Sim.
Garrett Sim had a 28-point game as a freshman, so he's got that ability to be a big-time scorer in him. It just hasn't shown itself the past couple of seasons.
Well, we've got the pit crew behind us, and they're bringing the noise, just like Matt Court for 84 years.
The 1-2-2, 3-quarter court back into a 2-3 zone. Kind of morphs into a 3-2 or 1-2-2.
Finally, the USC Trojans hit, and it's Gio Fontaine.
At some point, the other Pac-10 coaches will get wise. Fontaine loves to go left to shoot his jump shot. 1 or 2 dribbles.
Singler missing the 3. He's 0 for 2, and Marcus Simmons with the rebound.
You got to get Gio Fontaine, a right-hander, going to his right where he's more tendency to try and get all the way and finish going to the hoop. But going left, he can knock down that shot with a lot of consistency.
Pass it around that zone defense. Simmons can't make it. Tries. And there's Alex Stevenson, who's coming off a great game and a victory over UCLA. He had a career-high 16 rebounds in that contest.
Well, you got to put a body in. Jeremy Jacobs just kind of out there spectating, watching after that first miss. You've got to find Stevenson, put your body against him, keep him off the offensive glass.
Garrett Sim. It's great that a young man from Oregon will get the first bucket here. He misses on this three-point attempt. Singler's there. Lloyd to take the 3, and it's long. Why not take another one? But this has been a very difficult story for Dana Altman's team. Oregon is only shooting 26% from three-point range in Pac-10 play, and consequently they are 0-4 in the Pac-10. Still, the Pitt crew believes, and they want to see success from their Ducks. USC leads the first game at Matthew Knight Arena, a beautiful facility that seats 12,500. Rebecca Harlow's behind the scenes for us.
If you're wondering where the Ducks get ready for game action every night, welcome to the brand new locker room. Come on in. Not a bad place to change and get organized. There's lots of space to move around in here. And then when they're ready, come on into the lounge. Very comfortable environment to rest and get ready, get their minds in the right place. It is no shock. The guys tell me they'd rather hang here than their dorm rooms.
It is really beautiful. They have the arena, the practice courts, weight rooms, a waiting area for the parents, luxury suites, state-of-the-art training room that Rebecca will talk about later. Beautiful facility. Here's DeAndre Williams, and they missed from three-point range.
It's a 1 for 8 start for Oregon. That's the bad news. The good news, USC only 2 for 8. So that's why this score is still at 4-2. So things should loosen up as the players' nerves have gotten the best of them this first 5 minutes of this basketball game.
Maurice Jones with the basketball. Now Vucevic, the 6'10 player from Montenegro, can shoot, and he misses from three-point range.
He's got that kind of range. He can step out and knock down the three-point shots, and you've got to honor that. A 33% shooter from long range, not bad for a guy 6'10".
Trojans will play man defense entirely. Malcolm Armstead is in the game, being defended by Marcus Simmons.
It's man defense, but they really pack it in off the ball. And once you catch the basketball, they will pressure you, get up into your body like Marcus Simmons is doing there, and try and get you to turn the basketball over.
They're going to have to force it, and it's Armstead for 3. They're now 0 for 5 from three-point range, and that has been a real challenge for this Duck Ball Club early in 2010-11.
Nicholas Fern has got to do a good job of trying to keep Alex Stevenson off the glass inside, and DeAndre Williams inside.
Vucevic down low, Stevenson wide open, but they're saying it's an offensive foul on Vucevic.
Getting extra possession for his team by creating the turnover, picking up the offensive foul on an out-of-control Nikola Vucevic.
You have to ask the question, how good is Oregon? They're 7-9 and 0-4 in Pac-10 play, and they had a big victory over North Dakota State in overtime, and Dana Altman's debut also beat Santa Barbara, who won the Big West by 2, and had a loss to number 9 Missouri only by 3 points. So they are capable, and here's Armstead, who when he's consistent is a very good player.
Yeah, and he's been plagued by knee injury from last season. As you see, a 1-2-2 three-quarter court just kind of jumps up the game, try and keep the Trojans from developing any kind of offensive rhythm. But this Oregon team, Steve, played Missouri tough. 3-point game. Jonathan Lloyd missed a 3-pointer, chance to send it into overtime. I've seen them be extremely competitive this season.
Vucevic misses with the left hand. It's ripped away by the walk-on, Nicholas Byrne.
He's got minutes out of necessity out of Seattle Prep High School, won a state championship. Watching him in warm-ups, he's an extremely athletic basketball player.
Tyrone Merritt hits the three-pointer, the first of the game for Oregon. So you just saw history with who got the first three at the new Matthew Knight Arena.
If you want to get some offense going, you better call Tyrone from Woonsocket, Rhode Island. He has really done a nice job working on his outside shot, extending his range this season.
On the drive, and it is a pretty one by Dante Smith, the senior from Pomona, California. Played very well this year. Strobridge kicks it off to Garrett Sim, knocks it down from the corner. Their second three.
Sim, Portland, Oregon, Sunset High School, big-time scorer in high school. Again, it's in there. It's been dormant a couple of years, but you might be able to wake up the sleeping giant in terms of his offensive game this evening. USC is going to give up some outside shots. They're going to pack it in. That's the nature of their defense.
And Oregon going with a very small lineup. But that's because of necessity. Vucevic misses badly off the side. Malcolm Armstead now operating the point, the junior from Florence, Alabama. Extended their defense a little bit on Garrett Sim. Marin misses this three, but picked up by Sim, and Garrett scores and is fouled. Garrett Sim out of Portland, Oregon, Sunset High School on opening night with a great start. In the new Matthew Knight Arena debut, the Ducks have a 12-6 lead. It's time for our Bank of the West flashback. Let's go back to 1926 when they broke ground for Old Mac Court. And then they debuted in 1927. What did it look like? Right there, and we love broadcasting. Now, we didn't do game one in 27 when they beat Willamette College.
Yes, I remember it well.
But then Mac Court there. And then you've got to McCourt.
Yeah, and in the student section, again, right here, the slope is 36 degrees up to the upper tier, which is the maximum allowable under the building code. So they wanted that intimate feel, fans right on top of the court, and they achieved their goal.
Well, the Ducks finished with 721 wins at the Stuart McCourt, and it was home to the 1939 team that won the first NCAA title. They were called the Oregon Tallfers. The coach was Howard Hobson. Their star was Slim Wintermute.
Good old Slim. They had some great nicknames back in those days. Slim.
Now they have the Tallfers on the court, literally.
Some 1-2-2. Junk it up, three-quarter court, just give you something to look at, slow you down a little bit, break your rhythm offensively is the goal.
Oregon on an 11-2 run the last 5 minutes to take this 6-point lead. Dante Smith loses it, picks it up. There's 10 on the shot clock, and a three is knocked down by Bryce Jones.
Bryce Jones, the freshman out of Taft High School. Very, very skilled offensive basketball player. You've got to get a hand in his face on the wing at all times.
Oregon has their free shooter on the floor, and J.R. Strobridge, a 5'10 senior from Huntsville, Alabama. He is a transfer from Nebraska and Jacksonville State.
This USC defense, because of their help principles, almost looks like a zone.
That's where he can really help. He's averaging almost 8 points per game, averaged 12.5 at Jacksonville State, and 2 3-pointers a game.
That was a game plan by Dana Altman. Get Stevenson, Vucevic involved in a lot of ball screens. If they're late showing, the jumper's open. If they hedge aggressively, you got some slips and some pop action for your big guys.
Gio Fontaine is fouled by J.R. Strobridge. That's his first of the ball game. And you and I had a chance to watch Dana Altman's practice yesterday. They might be a little lean on talent, but their energy, their focus was very good at the workout.
He demands it. He will not settle for any. He works up more of a lather than any of his players. I mean, he is into it. I love watching him conduct practice. And again, watching the way he changes defenses and tries to alter the rhythm of the game through the course of the ball game.
Did a great job at Creighton and trying to do the same here. He is in the build mode. That's the fourth turnover for the Trojans. And Armstead takes it right down the middle.
Malcolm Armstead showing the speed that made him one of the most coveted junior college players out of Chippewa Junior College in Florida. Finished second in the national championship a couple of years ago.
They like the start. Great energy in the building. And after a cool start, the Ducks have heated up. And Saturday, get ready for an explosive day of men's and women's college hoops. First, the ladies hit the court as number 7 Texas A&M collides with conference rival Mizzou. Also, Pac-10 rivals square off as Oregon takes on 10th-ranked Lady Bruins. And then the men battle it out when Arizona State heads to Tucson to take on Derek Williams in Arizona. All the action tips off at 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific. I like that Arizona State game because two great friends will duel, and Herb Sendek and Sean Miller.
Yeah, both work together. Sean Miller and assistant for Herb Sendek. Yeah, I mean it's a great opportunity to kind of match wits with the master.
When Herb Sendek got that job at Miami of Ohio, the first assistant coach he hired, Sean Miller.
Oregon back in that 2-3 zone. Again, it's kind of bump principle, so they will follow that ball handler cutter down to the free throw line.
Dante Smith from three-point range. He's been devastating. He had a huge game against Kansas. At that time, the number 3 team in the nation, despite 22 points. Not enough as Smith and the Trojans lost to Kansas in Lawrence by just 2. DeAndre Williams, he's got great lift.
Yeah, that's a nice job. A good offensive setup. Dana Altman known for his 2-1-2 high post offense, a lot of cutting action, a lot of ball screening action.
Dante not afraid to shoot. Somebody's got to get in his face because if he gets on a streak, he really gets hot.
Played for a terrific coach in junior college, Michael Swanigan at Mount Sac, and he's an offensive machine. They tried to make him a point guard. That's not his thing. His thing is shooting the basketball. You've got to unleash the fury of the jumper of Dante Smith.
Unleash the fury of Garrett Sim on the other end, and he misses, but Singler's there, and E.J. has it swatted away by Stevenson.
Great effort by E.J. Singler, but got to give Stevenson just a little more body.
Fontaine missing badly. Singler runs it down.
And they're fundamentally sound on the box outs, showing some athleticism on the offensive rebounds. He's a guy that is able to, he may struggle in the first half, but I've watched Steve have some terrific second half, so it may take him a moment to kind of figure out where he's going to be most effective.
I was listening to the pit crew sing for E.J. Singler in Australian fashion. E.J.
Okay.
It was kind of fun. They're a lot of fun here.
They probably sounded a little bit, I'll get into that.
Bryce Jones missing badly. Rebounding. Malcolm Armstead. Ducks want to run. Oh, and E.J. throws it away, but picked up by Narrett, who scores, and they say no basket. It's a charge.
Well, once they get into the restricted area underneath the basket, those kinds of fouls will be blocking fouls or no fouls, because that was definitely in that area under the basket.
When we come back, Rebecca Harlow will be talking with Pac-10 Coach of the Year, Chip Kelly of the Ducks. Oregon by 5 over USC. Rebecca Harlow is with the Oregon Ducks football coach, Chip Kelly.
That's right, Fizz. As soon as Chip stood up, he got a massive standing ovation from the whole student section. I know national championship just a couple days ago, but can you reflect on the success of your program this season?
I'm just really proud of our kids. They left it all on the field. We lost to a really good Auburn team on a last-second field goal, but I can't thank our kids for what they've done for us and how hard they play and represent our school.
Certainly a big week for Oregon. Can you explain what it's like to come back here? What do you think of this new Matthew Knight Arena?
This place is awesome. The energy is unbelievable. Phil's speech to start it off. It's about the people, having the students on the court. This is going to be an unbelievable place.
And not only is the arena amazing, everything about it is amazing. The training facilities, everything. What's your favorite part about this new arena?
My favorite part of everything with Oregon is the duck. Gotta love the duck.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Rebecca.
That's Chip Kelly. Yes, his team lost to Auburn, but they will be back. I mean, All-American Michael James says he's coming back over 1,700 yards rushing. And Darren Thomas, a breakout year at quarterback and a year under his belt. It's going to be a marvelous year for the Ducks in football in 2011.
Nice active zone defense. Now look for USC to screen the bottom defenders against that zone. That and even screening the wing defenses against the zone and trying to split the back guys behind that.
USC just 6 for 17, 35% from the floor.
I like the activity. Love the activity defensively by Oregon.
That's the 5th turnover for USC. Lloyd gives it up. Armstead almost loses it.
You know the guys are into it, Steve, when they're moving like in tandem. Everybody in perfect synchronicity, like they're tied together by a string. And that's what we saw that last time on that possession defensive-wise by Oregon.
They have been so fired up about this moment. Playing game 1 in this arena, they knew how important it would be. They had a chance to watch that tremendous ceremony we had, and Dana Altman just so impressed. He said this was the key to him coming here because he's a Nebraska guy. He was born in Crete. Coached at Creighton for such a long time. Alex Stevenson with the rebound and pushes it ahead to Gio Fontaine. The 4th rebound for Alex. Foul against Fern. That young man at walk-on who had played 16 minutes because of all the injuries the team suffered at Washington State.
And in this game, you know, he has done a nice job out on the floor. It's not, they're trying to go at him a little bit. He's doing a great job holding his own, playing tough inside against the bigs, trying to box out and do what he can to help his team defensive rebound the basketball, which will be a big weakness with this team. Call for a foul, jostling for position with Nikola Vucevic.
And that's a guy 6'1", 188 trying to defend on the low post. A guy 6'10", 260. You gotta praise his effort.
Yeah, and even though he plays bigger, it's only so big you can play at 6'1", and you're going against 6'10". You might be able to get away with playing about 6'4", 6'5", but you're still overmatched. So that gives you an idea of the kind of effort he's giving them defensively.
Fontaine, how about that? He took that from his hip.
Time going right, got all the way into the key top, a little bit of a runner. He'll finish off runners going right, jumpers going left, 1-2 dribbles.
Jacob trying to square up on his defender, Alex Stevenson, who's one of the better low post defenders in this conference. DeAndre Williams misses badly. Lloyd picks up the loose basketball. Right now they're out hustling the Trojans for every loose ball.
Getting the long rebounds, but DeAndre Williams needs to get a little closer, get something to go through the net. That's his 3rd bad miss for him on those long-range perimeter jumpers.
Well, it's a shame Lloyd missed that because he went into the trees, and he's only 5 feet 8 inches tall.
He's got the quickness to get there. He's got to get a little bit lower on his dribble overall. That time he did, got into the paint, almost made the shot.
Oregon stays in the zone. Vucevic trying to drive, and a foul will be called on Jeremy Jacob whenever there are only big men available at 6'8", 225. That's his first foul.
See, that's what I like about Nikola Vucevic at 6'10". You know, he's long, he's lanky, but he got down. He's got his shoulders below Jacob, put it on the floor, initiated contact, picked up the foul.
Altman designing where he wants his defense to play as USC will inbound the basketball. They're a little more aware of where Dante Smith is when he catches that ball. Jones with the pull-up. And DeAndre Williams with the hustle save. Went in and tapped it with his right hand off of the knee of Marcus Simmons.
Yeah, and the thing, good hustle play, DeAndre Williams, but the thing with Oregon, you've got to be concerned with going into these offensive droughts. I think Tyrone Nered will help them because of his improved downside shooting and spacing the floor against the bigs, Alex Stevenson, Nikola Vucevic.
Malcolm Armstead missing terribly. And they say it was tipped on the shot block. So still 20 seconds left in the shot clock for the Oregon Ducks when they get the basketball.
And there's the problem right there. Dana Altman with his palms and hands telling Malcolm Armstead, settle down, let's run some offense, run some clock. You know, turn them over a couple of times, different sides of the floor, and then see if we need that shot.
Lloyd to inbound. BJ looked over at his coach Dana Altman to see what offensive play call there was. There's just 10 seconds left in the shot clock, and we have a shove by a University of Southern California Trojan. Stevenson gets the call. That's his first.
Alex Stevenson got that pass taken off of his hand before the UCLA game, and he just had a much better feel catching the basketball, shooting the basketball. 13 points, 16 rebounds, and just manly man basketball on the inside against the Bruins for Alex Stevenson.
And he's a much bigger, stronger man, and USC is about strength and conditioning. They wanted to be tougher and more physical than their opponents. And Kevin O'Neill's team has been just that this year. Now there's a whistle, foul call. O'Neill a little concerned as his team trails by 3 at the 4:37 mark of the first half. The first foul on Marcus Simmons, the best defender they have on the floor. Vucevic on Singler. Oregon content to slow this game down.
Again, 2-1-2. You get cutter, some ball screens, some picks away. But you see the middle of the floor is wide open.
Jonathan Lloyd, who's a big-time star in the state of Nevada.
Just a Foreman High School, but a wide open. Couple of dribbles get to the elbow. That shot's going to be there.
First 2 points for Lloyd, who's been averaging 5.5 per game this year. USC just 7 for 21.
If Oregon could ever execute and make the proper passes when they've got the advantage, they could really put a cushion in terms of lead against USC on the board.
Vucevic knocks it down from the baseline. Remember last week we was in the UCLA game with USC, and Vucevic, Kevin O'Neill told us that he wanted to see Vucevic be more active earlier in the shot clock.
He's got such a great mid-range jump shot. You got to know personnel. Stevenson, you give that shot to Vucevic, you've got to get out quickly and contest.
Narrett on the drive, left hand will not go. Stevenson with another rebound.
Well, they spread the floor, got the driving lanes that they were looking for. Tyrone Narrett just blew the left-handed layup.
Dante Smith will knock that down, and he has come off the bench hot. You can see putting the guns away. He's got 10 points now to lead his ball club and tie this game at 21.
Kind of like Dante's Inferno, huh?
Well, let's go with Rebecca Harlow, who has another behind-the-scenes look at this beautiful new arena.
Welcome to one of the best training facilities in the entire nation. 5,000 square feet. Now the guys tell me the best part is there's so much space that everybody can be doing something different all at once. And part of that 5,000 square feet of training facility is a whole lot of muscle therapy. You've got your hot, you've got your cold, but perhaps the best part, underwater hydrotherapy treadmill. Now guys can jump in here, take all the pressure off their muscles as they rehabilitate. There is nothing like this in college.
Yesterday I went in there, Dana Altman gave me the tour, and Jovan Capron was in there because he's trying to recoup that injured calf, and they say it does a world of good.
Well, you know, it's because it's non-weight bearing, so you don't exacerbate the injury. Just a great rehabilitation vehicle, and you know, they're building a brand new housing complex that the players will stay in. They've got this great academic complex right next door. This is going to be such a tremendous recruiting tool. And you look at Jovan Capron, the senior, out with the strained calf. You know this is eating them up alive. Having a terrific season, to not be able to participate in this has got to be tough on the young man.
Coach Altman said he's so important because now he's become such a good scorer that every time the ball goes down low to him, he kicks it back out when he gets double and triple team. Right now, Oregon has a 21-21 tie with USC. Pac-10 hoops. Garrett Sim leading the way.
doing a terrific job. Again, had a 28-point game as a freshman against Utah. So he has the ability to score and knock down open shots. And he got a few of those and showed some aggressiveness attacking the offensive glass. And you see the emotion trying to impress the Maiden Voyage fans here in this Maiden Voyage game at Matthew Knight Arena.
This is our Just for Men mustache and beard game summary. You can see Sim with 8 points, and he was the first to score in the new arena. Dante Smith with a game-high 10 points off the bench, 4 for 4. That's after going 0 for 6 in their victory over UCLA last week. Well, it's a court like you've never seen before. You can see the huge 20-by-12 scoreboard as the players come on the floor, and you can check out the tall firs that ring the court. David Hall right now has come over to the scores table to talk with us and give us the explanation of what has taken place. And Marcus, you had a chance to talk to the lead official, David Hall.
We just talked about the scoreboard. There's some issues to work out, and in terms of team fouls, and so we have to be careful about depending on the scoreboard at this point. Still some kinks, some bugs to kind of work out here, but all in all, just a terrific venue for college basketball.
Well, it's nice of David Hall to come and help us out and let us know what's going on. Here's E.J. Singler from three-point range.
The middle guy in the 2-1-2 offense, high post offense, got a little bit of a brush screen, steps back, knocks down a 20-footer, and they force the turnover.
Counts a basket, Jonathan Lloyd.
I saw this team give Duke some issues when they went to some full court pressure. Even though they lost big time, they were very competitive in stretches, and I saw them give Missouri all they could handle with the full court pressure. And this time they create the turnover. Jonathan Lloyd initiates the contact, defender not set, a chance for the three-point play. I think we'll see much more of this pressure from Oregon against USC.
This young freshman is a very good foul shooter as well at 75%. It was the second foul on Gio Fontaine, who had 4, got into foul trouble last week, and still the Trojans beat the Bruins. Meantime, UCLA did win tonight at Oregon State.
And I would really amp up the pressure near midcourt, because the midcourt line kind of difficult to see, and as an offensive player, it'd be kind of hard to pick it up right away.
Fontaine misses for three-point range and goes out of bounds off the USC. Oregon basketball with a 6-point lead at the 154 mark. We want our fans to know that Phil Knight, who is so important in the drive and development of this arena, will join us for a halftime interview. That's part of our Acura halftime report.
Really heartfelt speech by Phil Knight before the game, right before the festivities started.
Merritt tried to catch it and then jam it down. Instead, it hit off the iron and bounced up and hit the clock.
That's why I think he's going to be a player before it's all said and done. He had a mouth-opening dunk against Washington State, and right there got a running start and almost got the crowd in a tether on that followed dunk attempt.
That would have sent the pit crew to the rafters. Almost a steal by J.R. Strobridge.
A lot of deflections in the pressure, that 1-2-2 pressure. That's a good sign for Oregon, and that to me that they're going to stick with that, I think, throughout the game, because USC is kind of bothered by it. Got a small guard, Maurice Jones.
Dante Smith has been important for USC, keeping them in this game. He now has 13 of his team's 24 points.
Big-time shooter out of Mount Sac Junior College, playing for Michael Swanigan. And again, he's got to turn him loose and allow Dante to be Dante. And that's an aggressive offensive player, especially from the perimeter.
Now 3 of 3 from three-point range. Swing it over to Strobridge, who knocks down his own 3.
J.R. Strobridge got bounced around a couple of colleges before he went to Oregon. He's another guy. They brought him in specifically for his ability to knock down the outside shot.
They missed their first 5 three-pointers, and they've made 4 since. Alex Stevenson, man, he was quick for that basket and lays it off the glass.
Set it up for the last shot here. They spread the floor, ball screens, draw, drive, draw, and kick action.
Oregon has trailed for only 2 minutes in this first half. Sim has to drive, and Garrett lays it up. Oh, by Tyrone Narron! Oh!
Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Lowered from the rafters. Don't give him a running start.
Great first half to debut the new arena.
They lowered the Duck mascot in the pregame. They lowered Tyrone Narron on this dunk shot. Does it count? He's throwing it down, head rim level.
Well, Rebecca's with Coach Dana Altman.
Coach, great finish to this very first game in this arena. You have to be proud of the effort that your team
Guys
has
played
come out
hard. They really got after it. We made some mistakes on the defensive end, but our effort was great, and now we just got to find a way to keep it up for 20 more minutes.
Dante Smith keeping USC in this ball game. How do you slow him down?
Well, he hit some big shots, and that last one he hit was really deep, but we're going to have to find him a little better in the zone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Rebecca, thank you very much. And when we come back, we'll be talking with the man so responsible in the building of this. The pit crew happy. The Trojans need a rally to come back on Oregon. Let's go inside the USC locker room.
Now listen, we didn't play great. What we need to do is go out in the first 5 minutes of the second half, establish ourselves on the defensive end, and establish ourselves offensively by getting the ball inside with penetration and with pass. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Got to grind it out. It's our ball first. We need a score, stop, score, stop right off the bat. Got to grind it out. Let's go. Here we go.
Steve Physiak now with Marcus Johnson. You heard Kevin O'Neill score, stop, but they have to stop because they played 16 games this year, and only 3 have scored more than Oregon scored in that first half.
Yeah, and offensively, as he mentioned, Kevin O'Neill, they want to penetrate more, get the ball inside more. Everything's an outside jump shot. The only guy that's hitting right now is Dante Smith, so look for that also as a major adjustment for USC in the second half.
Let's take a look at the first half stats, and they belong to Oregon, who played with great intensity in that first 20 minutes.
Yeah, they did. After a slow start, the Ducks started to kind of find their groove, and you know, forget about the stats and shooting percentage and the three-point field goal percentage. All those are kind of equal. It was the hustle points. It was the offensive rebound. Oregon has a 12-8 points in the paint advantage against the much bigger, much more athletic USC basketball team.
How about the free throw stats? Only 2 free throws taken by both teams the first 20 minutes. And they're playing tough defense. Kevin O'Neill talking with David Hall, and perhaps it's about why Tyrone Narron's shot, that catch dunk, to end the half counted.
Well, David Hall told us they had to look at the separation, hand from ball. They thought hand separated just at the final moment. That was as close as you could get. They were out on the floor another 5 minutes after the teams went to the locker room. The officials were trying to discern whether or not that shot should count or not. We'll take another look at it. There's Sim, got to throw it up on the backboard. And there's Narron, catch, finish, separate. As close as it gets, but I think a good call by the official. Just gut instinct.
The pit crew is ready for the final 20 minutes of the debut of Matthew Knight Arena. Ducks by 6 over Oregon. Maurice Jones with the basketball.
And this is patchwork kind of a lineup for Dana Altman's Oregon Ducks. They're playing with a lot of energy. They're moving as a unit defensively in the zone defense. Very few driving lanes available for USC. Right there, Gio Fontaine, Thornton trying to get down the middle. Nice
10
job.
seconds on the shot clock. Maurice Jones, well, that's the first. That was the hit one, then stop. They'll need score, stop.
Jones, after a slow first half, 0 for 2, did not score a point. I was wondering whether the 38 minutes a game, tops in the Pac-10, is starting to wear him down, but he looked pretty fresh on that play, on that shot.
Singler from the high post tries to give a screen to Jonathan Lloyd, who crosses over, and now he'll take it in and miss the shot. Vucevic taps it to himself, and it's stolen by Lloyd.
That's the kind of plays I'm used to seeing Maurice Jones make. Nice hustle by Lloyd.
There's a blocking foul inside. It will go against the big man of USC, Alex Stevenson, his second personal foul.
Good execution offensively. Didn't score the bucket, but Jonathan Lloyd got Vucevic to switch on him 35 feet away from the basket. Dribbled him out a little further, isolated, went by him, and you create a lot of problems when you can penetrate against a bigger guy like that, whether you make the shot or not.
Here is E.J. Singler. He's the brother of All-American Kyle at Duke. Led his team to the national championship last year. But E.J., a very capable player. You might remember he won the state title for Oregon in 2007 at McCourt when his team, Medford, Oregon, South Medford, beat Kevin Love's team from Portland.
Kyle also a member of that basketball team, and their brothers are competitive. They love each other. They push each other. Assistant coach Josh Jamison of Oregon has coached them and worked with them since they were like 4th, 5th grade.
I asked him, why did you not go to Oregon State with both mom and dad? And he said, you know what? They never really pressured me. They completely let me make my own decision. Same with brother Kyle.
There's that aggressive 1-2-2 trap. Initially it was bother pressure. Now they're actually trying to get deflections, force turnovers, which they did a decent job of in the first half. Oregon did.
They stay in the zone. Jones hit his first three.
Hit wing, middleman runs down the middle, goes out baseline, trying to look for a driving lane, create some space.
Lloyd. Wow, that was a really tough drive inside.
He had 5'8" Jonathan Lloyd against 5'7" Maurice Jones. He was like, get down, little guy.
A 7-point Oregon lead at the 18-minute mark of this ball game. Vucevic has been very quiet since the early moments of the game, and now they lose it through their hands, and Singler has the steal. That's the 8th Trojan turnover. Lloyd, long, picked off by Gio Fontaine.
Not a bad look. It was early, but not a bad look.
Is that an offensive foul?
David Hall looking for some help. I think he's going to call one. Officials conferring, just to be sure. The hands went up. Hall going to defer to the baseline official who had a better angle.
And that is Frank Harvey. Our officials are David Hall, Frank Harvey, and Scott Twardowski.
Call a blocking foul, basket good. That's a big turn of events for USC and Gio Fontaine. Fontaine with a crossover maneuver, going to attack, right hand, trying to get to the basket, and E.J. Singler just not entirely set. Didn't take it in the chest, kind of took it on the side of the body.
The chance for the three-point play is good by Fontaine, and that was USC's first free throw of the game.
SC shot 5 free throws all of last year when they lost at Galen Center. So that's been an issue going against this Oregon Duck basketball team, getting to the free throw line.
Oregon beat USC both times last year. They did not have a great season. Last year at McCourt, the highlight of the game was when the USC team manager was called for a technical foul.
Kevin O'Neill, not the kind of coach you want to have that happen if you're a manager. You just do not want to see what he had or hear what he has to say or see the expression on his face when you get back to the locker room.
That manager was fired, then rehired. Yeah, I remember. Emotions settled down, but what a game it was as Oregon won by 10.
Oregon doing a nice job playing tag with Vucevic. Anytime he catches it at the free throw line, he's got a defender right there, Singler, to have to deal with it. Not giving him open looks. That's where he's really effective. Singler guarding him out there on the perimeter now, trying to deny that entry pass for him.
At the 16:54 mark, Oregon holding on to a 4-point lead, but USC cutting into that. It was a 7-1 point in the second half. We've seen a lot of upsets. I mean, Duke was upset yesterday by Florida State. Perhaps we'll see one with Oregon winning at home over a good USC team, and they forced the turnover. It's the freshman Jonathan Lloyd.
I'll tell you what, Steve, he was an all-state fullback in football. That was that football background. He flung his body right into the mix. Didn't care if he got hit or not, even wanted to get hit on that play.
Singler inside, Tyrone Narrett, easy layup. Too easy for Kevin O'Neal's liking.
Pick and roll, post up right in front of 5'7" Maurice Jones. Nice find by Singler. Even though this team is depleted by injuries, coaches around this league respect the job that Dana Altman has done in terms of getting these guys to compete.
Maurice Jones outside, heating up. Didn't make a three in the first half. Has 2 so far in the second half on 2 attempts.
Heard a lot about him coming in. Michigan, Maurice Jones didn't expect him to be this effective right off the bat in the Pac-10. He's really done a terrific job. The leading minutes played guy in the league, he was averaging close to 40 a game, now down to around 37, 38 a game.
Still the most minutes by any freshman in Division I college basketball this year. You can hear the pit crew counting up the clock. They swing it corner. And with 1 second left, DeAndre Williams hits the three and gives Oregon a 6-point lead.
Baseline penetration, baseline jumper will be open. Chadwick missed some bad in the first half. He's found the range so far here in the second half.
Ducks stay in the zone. Merritt in the middle. And Stevenson tried to catch it, but turned his head and dropped it off of his knee out of bounds. 10 turnovers by USC. Look at the beautiful concourse here in the new Matt Arena. We finally got it started at the beautiful new Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene, Oregon. Time for our Just for Men Mustache and Beard game summary. 11 points off turnovers.
Yeah, and USC only 1 free throw attempt in this game, which gives you an idea how much reliance they're placing on the perimeter. And Nikola Vucevic, we talked about him. He's the guy we expected to have the big numbers, 16 points a game in Pac-10 play. But so far, Oregon has done a nice job with their zone. They're just kind of packing that zone around Vucevic. Really kept his effectiveness to almost nil, just 2 points.
USC as a team 3 for 3 from the floor in the second half, but they have suffered 4 turnovers, and consequently, they're still trailing by 6 points. Oregon, meantime, is 3 for 5.
Oregon, again, you don't want to have the droughts hit you. You got to keep the ball moving, keep the ball screens happening.
Tyrone Narrett!
Keep calling on Tyrone Narrett to knock down that much improved perimeter jump shot.
That's the biggest lead for Oregon tonight, 9 points, 14:50 to go.
That was the game plan, stretch those bigs out, make them play out on the perimeter defensively.
Dante Smith was sensational in the first half, but misses his first attempt of the second half. Lloyd with that stutter step dribble down the lane, scores! Count the basket! I like this kid.
Jonathan Lloyd. We had Michael Lloyd, UNLV star back in the 80s. Nice job in transition, little stutter, little football fullback stutter step. Gets down the gut, finds the contact, finishes off the play.
And anytime you have an arena like this and an academic center, you have a great chance to recruit. And Dana Altman is doing that. We'll tell you about the recruits when we come back. Steve Physiak, Marcus Johnson with the pit crew in Eugene, Oregon. Let's go to the third member of our team, Rebecca Harlow.
Guys, Kevin O'Neal calling a quick timeout there. He's saying, hey, there are no surprises here. We knew Oregon was going to come out with this kind of energy and this kind of effort. He's saying we have to fight. He's saying we want to pick up the pace. We want to play defense. And talking to Alex Stevenson, he says, this is the best test we are going to have before the Pac-10 tournament in terms of a super aggressive environment. He said, we've got to go to work, prove that we can win in this environment, keep fighting our way back into this ball game.
Great stuff, Rebecca, and right now it is a 10-0 Oregon run, the last 57 seconds for the game's largest lead.
But did you see that play off the missed free throw? The ball inadvertently tipped in, I think, by a USC player, not quite sure. But that's when you know it's your night.
It's Phil Knight's night.
Yeah, it is Phil Knight's night. Those kinds of plays happen in your favor.
The steal by Sim, but he got a piece of the arm and a personal foul, number 2.
Jonathan Lloyd going to miss the free throw. Watch right in here what happens. Vucevic actually tips the basketball in off the backboard, going for the rebound.
They give the basket to Garrett Sim because he was the closest to it.
He was in the vicinity.
I love those.
Assist Nikola Vucevic.
Vucevic takes the jumper outside. Man, he has had a rough game.
Off balance, falling back, no chance of that going in.
Singler misses the 3, rebounding Alex Stevenson. Where's Vucevic, the guy who scored 28 points and grabbed 14 rebounds against Washington, the best team in the conference? He's 1 for 6 from the floor, only 2 points.
Well, he's like Gulliver with a bunch of Lilliputians surrounding him. I mean, he's got no room to operate. They're crowding him, making things tough for him to get the ball and have any kind of space to get his game off. And you can see the frustration on his face. The worst thing he can do is start pressing and forcing shots. He's still got to get his within the context of the offense.
I think he's got to get that Derek Williams mentality, like Williams played against Cal when he said, fellas, I'm taking over. Armstead right now down the lane. Can you believe this? Oregon's up by 15 on a very good USC team.
There's that extended court zone pressure I talked about. We see a lot more of it. It's been a factor here in the second half.
Gio Fontaine outside, hits the 2. His foot was on the line. A timeout called by Kevin O'Neill. So they've cut it to 13. Plenty of time left. 13-13.
Kevin O'Neill going to talk to his team about their defensive setup, about their energy, about their effort and hustle.
Well, if you think this place is new, we're talking brand spanking new, because even last night they were doing finishing touches with the paint, with the mopping, making sure every little detail was flat perfect. Dusting, checking out. Then they have so many television monitors in here. And this was last night, finishing some of the barriers and painting those.
That's brand spanking new. Even this afternoon at shoot-around, they were still mopping and painting and doing nailing and hammering.
That was last night, and here we are today. Reese's perfect combination tonight. How about Garrett Sim and Jonathan Lloyd? A slight backcourt.
Yeah, tag team, and Garrett Sim got his early in the game. Jonathan Lloyd's 9 points have kind of come after that. So a nice job of keeping this offensive flow sustained for Oregon.
Lloyd dribbles in, pulls it out. When I say slight, I mean in size. Sim is 6'1", 181. Lloyd 5'8", 160. Armstead down the lane, scores over Vucevic.
This is the Malcolm Armstead they've been waiting to see Oregon has for the entire season. A lot of it has to do with his knee injury that's really slowed him down, but doing a great job attacking the basket. For USC, just this uncharacteristically poor defense and poor passing decisions.
This is not the USC team we have seen lately.
They're usually pretty good at thwarting dribble penetration, but that just hasn't been the case this evening.
I like the savvy of Lloyd. He looks like a guy he's got a point guard mind. And he gets fouled and has a chance for 3 shots.
Dante Smith too aggressive on the closeout. Basketball no. Making the guy take a tough shot with a hand up. Jonathan Lloyd's like, hand up, man up. Gets it off, gets himself to the free throw line.
Marcus, let's talk about that, because there are guards who come from high school basketball who were asked to score so much who don't have a point guard mind.
And Jonathan Lloyd, he's still a work in progress. He's having a great game tonight, and I saw him against Missouri, had another terrific game. But he's a guy, he's kind of that tweener who's between a point guard and a scoring guard, kind of a lead guard. So you don't want to take that away from him. But he's done a nice job tonight, Steve, setting up the offense and making the proper decisions in this game.
He was the point guard at Bishop Gorman, averaging 8 assists per game last year. And in his 4 years at Bishop Gorman, he taught them how to win. They had 102 wins in his high school career.
And I think even better example of what we're seeing tonight, too. I mean, playing football, he had 5 punt returns for touchdowns. So you give this guy some broken field running room with the basketball, he makes positive things happen. He's got those kinds of instincts with the ball.
He's 3 shy of his career high when he had 15 against Missouri and having 12 against the University of Southern California Trojans.
Almost got Gio Fontaine into a turnover.
Bryce Jones took a shot too early, and Kevin O'Neill doesn't like that. Now thinks Mr. Jones is coming out for Mr. Stevenson.
That's the problem with freshmen. They try and get it all back on one possession, which is going to be like a 15-point shot or an 18-point shot. Bryce Jones takes that shot too early in the offense. Alex Stevenson puts him on the bench. It's the greatest teaching tool that a coach has.
Yes, indeed.
But Kevin O'Neill talking to him. I thought maybe he might yell at him, talks at him, gives him a slap on the backside, sends him back down to the bench. But does talk to him in a calm and reassuring manner.
Armstead with the pull-up, knocks it down. Oregon by 20 points.
Welcome back, Malcolm Armstead.
A 19-2 run. Stevenson, though, says enough of that. Let's get back in this game. They still have 11:38 left.
A lot of time left and a lot of talent on this USC basketball team, and kind of a dearth of scorers here for Oregon. So can they sustain it? The big question mark.
Last night, Florida State upset #1 Duke. Stanford already upset Washington. Could we have another upset in Eugene? Opening night at Matt Court. Oregon with an 18-point lead. Marcus Johnson, who's our Motel 6 sixth man of the game.
Tyrone Nerad out of Woonsocket. That's right, Woonsocket, Rhode Island has made himself a factor in this game. Just 4 points a game for the season. He's got 10 in this game so far and shown the entire package. Jump shots, dunk shots, terrific rebounding on the inside.
He had to come off the bench and start because Jovan Catron injured that calf and played so well. And on the defensive side, he has been very, very important in slowing down Nikola Vucevic, who is 1 for 6 from the floor and just 2 points.
A 6'8", 210-pound, long-armed, athletic player who really did a great job bothering Dante.
He got on the tip and cuts the lead to 16. That cuts a USC drought where they were 3 for their last 17.
Score and stops. Kevin O'Neill talked about it at halftime. They score now, but their defense, especially on dribble penetration and in ball screen and pop, has left a lot to be desired.
Strobridge from the corner.
Another great job by Oregon executing their offense, and USC a little lax at the closeout for the wide open corner 3-point shot.
10.5 minutes, and Oregon leading by 19. Maurice Jones is clipped by Malcolm Armstead. Oh my!
Not a whole lot going on. You got 2 players. E.J. Singler, Nikola Vucevic got tangled up on the baseline, and Singler not having any of that, but you got to get Singler to back off. The blood is flowing. It's an emotional night for this Oregon team, emotional night for the U.S. team, getting embarrassed here by a team that they were expected to beat.
And USC making great strides this year. They came in with a record of 2-1 in conference play.
There's the trip, and you see Singler and Vucevic kind of feet tied up, arms locked up.
It's good to see Frank Harvey jump right in there, one of the officials, and separate them. And the real peacemaker is Alex Stevenson, who grabbed 2 of his teammates and pulled them to safety.
And that's where the most dangerous part of that kind of altercation is not the 2 main guys involved. It's all the trash talking, the junk talking going on by the players, the peripheral guys who were involved in the play.
Beautiful new Matthew Knight Arena.
They're looking at the monitor, so I don't know if they thought a punch may have been thrown. I mean, Singler, you saw Singler kind of swing that arm, and that may be what they're kind of looking at.
We were talking with Kevin O'Neill last week about throwing elbows.
Yeah.
It has to be a flagrant, or it has to be an intentional. There is no more just a foul. Oh, and an elbow was thrown. You can See how quickly Kevin O'Neill got to Vucevic and pushed him to the corner.
I mean, a lot of arm action. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to constitute an elbow. It'll be interesting to see what Dave Hall and his crew come up with.
And you could read the lips of Scott Twardowski, and he was saying, we've got to look, and that's what the three officials are doing at midcourt in a play that involved one of the stars of USC, Nikola Vucevic.
I think it's more of an emancipatory kind of move. Just kind of freeing yourself up. There's the arm lock right in here. Everything is happening. There's Vucevic. You know, yeah. I don't think it's enough to warrant flagrant or elbowing fouls or anything. I mean, the activity's kind of going away from the opponent. There's a little bit of a push between the two. Frank Harvey Jr., the third, nice job just kind of getting in between.
USC, meantime, is at the free throw line with Maurice Jones.
Write this down.
They've cut it to 19 points, and they're still looking at that monitor.
That's a bad sign. You know, they got to keep kind of looking and looking. The more they look, the more there's going to be a tendency for them to call something. But again, I didn't see enough in that little brouhaha.
You know, when this game started, also, Marcus, USC knew they had to go inside. Oregon had really no one to match it with Vucevic and Stevenson, we thought. And yet they have quite well against Dana Altman's matchup zone.
Yeah, Gulliver and the Lilliputians are keeping Vucevic surrounded by three little diminutive players at all times, just kind of getting up under him, getting up under his skin at the same time, frustrating him.
I did the UCLA-USC game last week, and I was at USC practice, and I remember Kevin O'Neill shouting to his team at practice, hey, no one's gone inside on UCLA, but we will. Well, a lot of teams have gone inside on Oregon because they're so small, but tonight USC can't. 24 points in the paint, Oregon against USC, and the Trojans with just 14.
They need to hurry up and make a decision. The three referees, they're really hurting the momentum and just the whole ambience of this basketball game of this evening. You know, come over to me, talk to me. I'll tell you, they just make it a no call and just let them play.
Well, obviously there's going to be something that's going to make one of the head coaches very, very angry. Maybe anytime you have three officials talking
maybe
this
a double foul, or you know, get it on and get it over with, and let's play basketball.
Okay. Technical foul on 5.
But I thought it was just a case of two guys, arms tangled, you know, a lot of animation with no malicious intent.
USC has led just once all night, a score of 4-2.
Now, the one thing in that play that did happen, you know, Singler kind of got up in the face of Vucevic and started whooping, so maybe stick a technical on him, but we'll see what happens.
Vucevic has one foul right currently. Singler has one foul.
Mo Jones going to shoot some free throws, so it appears that at least a technical foul of some sort was called.
Well, Kevin O'Neill very calm, not arguing with the official and agreeing with his. Right now, David Hall, the lead official, is with the official scorekeeper.
But man, this is, you know, this has been what, a good 7-8 minutes of real time that is taking the officials to deliberate this call.
Offsetting technical fouls on Armstead of USC, and a second technical on Vucevic. So Maurice Jones will go to the line.
See, and that's the peripheral guy, Armstead, not involved in the play, coming over, talking a little too much.
And a technical foul on number 2, Gio Fontaine.
Well, a technical foul on Gio Fontaine, who came in to separate
the peripheral guy. He wouldn't even been involved in the altercation.
I thought Gio came in and shoved a teammate out of the way.
Alex Stevenson came in, separated Fontaine, and Armstead were right there, kind of nose to nose, conversating with each other. And Jay Singler, the leading free throw shooter in the Pac-10, misses the first free throw.
makes the second 1 of 2, pushes Oregon's lead back to 18, 10.5. But you wonder if the passion, the intensity will remain the same, particularly on the defensive end of the floor for the Oregon Ducks.
Exactly, and even the hot hand, the ability to knock down those open jump shots that Strobridge has shown, that Armstead has shown, and taking the ball to the hole. Tyrone Nered.
Their defensive passion has been awesome. This game is all about what Oregon has done off turnovers. They've outscored USC on turnovers 17-2.
And it was a 7-minute real-time delay. Kind of figured what was going to happen based on that altercation. And so now you got to get warm again. You got to work up a sweat again.
How about this, Marcus? The 4th foul on Gio Fontan.
Technical fouls are personal fouls. I think Kevin O'Neill just kind of becoming aware of that. Gets Marcus Simmons up to the scorer's table. You don't want to lose Fontan, a key guy potentially pull you down the stretch if you do make a run.
Tyrone Nered misses the jumper. Rebounding is Vucevic. Gets it into the hand of Gio Fontan. And they'll have him play soft offensively. They don't want him to pick up the 5th foul. He is the leader of this team.
I want to see how Nikola Vucevic responds. Sometimes the European guys, they get the label of being soft mentally and not able to handle the physicality of the game.
Maurice Jones with a nifty pass to Nikola Vucevic.
Vucevic looks fired up like he's out to prove a point. Great job positioning, great catch and finish on the inside.
They have cut it to 16. DeAndre Williams with the pull-up, knocks it down.
To me, kind of a questionable shot. He passed up E.J. Singler going to his left, dribble an extra couple of dribbles to get himself open, but it paid dividends in the end. Go back inside to Nikola. Just keep going to Nikola Vucevic, make him double team, and then rely on your spot up jump shooters to make him pay the price on the perimeter.
Maurice Jones missing the 3. There's Alex Stevenson. Back up and in. A chance for 3.
That's what hurt UCLA in the second half when he just amped it up about 10 notches on his offensive rebounding game. Big Alex Stevenson. The Harvard-Westlake High School in North Hollywood, California. Great position on the inside and just too much of a matchup problem at 6'10 and broad shoulders against E.J. Singler at 6'6.
Opponents have been averaging only 60 points per game against USC's defense. Oregon has scored 63 at the 8.5-minute mark of the second half. Vucevic goes to the sideline. Back in, Garrett Jackson, 6'6", 215-pound freshman from Portland, Oregon, so he's got a lot of family and friends here.
You said it, Steve. It's all about defense. As USC, Maurice Jones kind of amps up the full-court pressure, which is, I think, a great adjustment by Kevin O'Neill. Make these ball handlers have to get the offense set up under extreme duress.
Ball goes off Jacob, and it will go out of bounds. You know, we were talking about Dana Altman and coming here, and one of the reasons he came here was they built this beautiful facility, making it easier to recruit, and they're bringing in 4 really good recruits next year, including Jabari Brown from Oakland, California, one of the top 50 players in the nation, and a point guard, 6'3", Bruce Barron from Carbondale, Illinois.
Bruce Barron, the brother of Justin Dentman from the University of Washington, has a bit of a similar game, so they've got a couple of good ones along with some transfers. DeVoe Joseph.
Dante Smith, no. Lloyd rebounding.
Real crucial stage offensively for Oregon. Jovan Catron, their leading scorer, double team magnet on the post, opens up things for the shooters on the outside. So far hasn't been a major issue.
Another turnover for the Oregon Ducks. USC getting a little bit closer. When we come back, Rebecca Harlow will be with Larry Scott, the commissioner of the Pac-10. Welcome back to Pac-10 Hoops for the first conference game at Matt Arena. Let's go to Rebecca Harlow, who's with the commissioner of the conference.
Larry, Matthew Knight Arena is one of the most premier facilities in all of the nation. How important is it that it's a part of the Pac-10?
Well, it's an exciting thing for Oregon, exciting for the Pac-10. We have such an iconic new venue. The design's amazing, the technology is amazing, and it's a real shot in the arm for the university.
You put so much work into this project. How exciting that this night is actually here and unfolding.
Well, it's terrific. I mean, this week for this university, with the BCS National Championship on Monday night, now the opening of an iconic new venue like this, you know, Oregon Athletics is on a roll, and it's great for the conference.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Guys.
Thanks, Rebecca. We have a foul on Jonathan Lloyd, who shoved Maurice Jones as he ran by. And that's one of the great things about what is happening in the conference and right here in Eugene. Not only this facility, but next door, one of the most beautiful academic facilities in all of sports, in all of Division I. And the parents, more than anybody, love that.
Yeah, and then opening up a brand new housing facility for the athletes right across the street from Matthew Knight Arena.
What a way to debut with a marvelous effort against a good USC team. There's Maurice Jones putting it down. He cuts it to 13 with inside 7 minutes to play.
And you got to keep generating some offense. But Mo Jones, a terrific tough shot maker, and right there, great defensive effort by little Mo Jones with the steal. Created the steal.
Smith, short, Vucevic. Garrett Sim pulls up, misses the shot. Gets his own rebound back, and Dana Altmanson settled down.
Slow it down. Take some time off the clock. You don't want to get into a helter-skelter, jack it up at the first opportunity of offensive basketball game.
Great comeback by USC. At one time they trailed by 21. Tyrone Merritt misses, and USC rebounds. Are they beginning to feel the pressure as they go up to Vucevic, and Merritt is there for a save, but the ball goes out of bounds on the end line.
In a word, yes, they are. But Vucevic, nice job hustling down the floor, working himself into position on the offensive glass. Nice touch to finish off the play. I tell you, Vucevic is a man determined. I like his attitude. I like his body language.
But where was it for such a long stretch? Because all of a sudden we're seeing a very active Vucevic.
That's the thing about basketball, that energy factor. I mean, this whole USC team didn't have it so much of this basketball game. Oregon riding the energy wave of this opening of the new arena, christening this floor, the Nate Boyd's game here.
He needs one more point for a double-double. He has 9 points to go with his 11 rebounds, and most of them have come in the last few minutes.
They're showing pretty good activity on the backboard. Again, the energy just to kind of get himself open at the offensive end of the floor, working inside, using his size, not being a stationary guy, a stationary big down on the box, working box to box, the dunker drill.
That is his 20th career double-double, his 10th this season. USC on a 16-6 run since trailing by 20 points.
I think Oregon will get a higher quality shot. They're back into their 2-1-2 half-court offensive set. A lot of motion, a lot of cutters. Here's the mismatch set to 1.
They swing it out top to Armstead, but again, USC's defense rotating much better. And here's Lloyd, swatted into the sideline by Vucevic. There will be 2 seconds left in the shot clock when Oregon inbounds, so Altman calling out the play.
Armstead had the shot, passed it up, put his team in a very difficult position, pretty much a catch and fling it toward the basket. Not a whole lot of time to do anything else unless you could find a way to feed it into the post on the inside. And Dante Smith getting involved with E.J. Singler jockeying for position, but nothing more.
Singler misses, and Vucevic will grab the basketball. It'll be a shot clock violation because it did not hit iron, and Dana Altman's saying, come on, clock, run.
Yeah, and I can see that rule altered. I mean, if it's clear that the opponent is going to secure the basketball, why break up the flow of the game?
Jonathan Lloyd almost up another foul on Maurice Jones. Marcus Simmons on the drive, a whistle and a foul on the drive against Oregon defender Tyrone Narrett. How much different is the feel from Matt Court to Matt Arena?
Well, I mean, it has to do with familiarity with the players. I mean, they're familiar with Matt Court. This is a new experience for them. I think for a lot of them, it's almost they feel like playing on a neutral floor. Not so much an away game, but it's because it's such a new experience, a new venue, new surroundings, and same fans and same student section and pit crew and all that. Same duck mascot. It's a totally different vibe in this arena.
Doesn't bother Simmons as he drops both. An 18-6 Trojan run.
Here's that offensive drought that I talked about with Oregon.
Look at Simmons' defense.
Put him on the most dangerous guy in Kevin O'Neill's mind, and that's Malcolm Armstead. But you got Mo Jones trying to defend Tyrone Narrett on the inside.
Narrett with the catch, but there's Vucevic with the strip. Here come the Trojans. Smith with the pull-up. No good. Simmons is there.
We'll get a timeout at some point in time here. You're trying to.
A 20-point lead has been cut down because of a 20-6 USC run led by that man, Nikola Vucevic. Fans, FoxSportsWest.com is your exclusive home for Southern California sports. Check out Matt Money Smith's weekly columns plus Lake Show Central with Billy Witz for all your Southern Cali sports needs. Log on to FoxSportsWest.com right now.
They know Albany got to put some fresh subs in the game because this unit offensively just not getting it done.
Some other stars around the Pac-10 Conference. Stanford pulled a big upset as Josh Owens went 7 for 9 in Stanford's upset of Washington. And Reeves Nelson with UCLA pulling one at Gill Coliseum.
Yeah, and then Alan Craft dropping 30. Since Gary Franklin, the point guard, transferred to Baylor, screen Craft up to be much more of a scorer that he has shown the potential to be, especially out of high school. I thought he was going to be a big-time scorer in the Pac-10.
He's been tremendous in the conference.
Yeah, he knocked down clutch shots, but averaging probably around 10, 11 points a game. But he has the ability to be a 20-point scorer this season with the way he shoots the basketball and his offensive mindset. Speaking of offensive mindsets, Oregon had better find one.
Marcus, we talked about could that long 8-minute delay when the officials looked at the play, would it slow down Oregon's momentum? Well, since those technical fouls were called, USC is on a 15-2 run.
And Oregon is offensively talented anyway. They had a nice flow going before that delay.
Tyrone Narrett kicks it out. This is TeAndre Williams missing. And it's controlled by USC. They have cut it to 5. USC has the look of a team with confidence.
You don't necessarily have to go in the Vucevic. He was again surrounded by a lot of defenders.
Smith missing. In a battle for the basketball, let's see who wins it. They say it is a double foul. Double foul. We'll tell the story when we come back as the Trojans coming back on the Ducks. USC has roared back from 20 points down. Our Lexus Playbook explains how USC got back in this game, Marcus.
Well, I mean, great individual hustle on the part of the offensive rebounder here. Vucevic going to work himself around Jonathan Lloyd, but you got to find the bigs and put a better body on him. Again, offensive rebounder is Vucevic. There's Simmons on the inside, and the taller, athletic USC players just jumping all over and up and down the Oregon Ducks on the inside. Ducks have got to do a better job boxing out and securing defensive rebounds here down the stretch. We're making a miss and get the rebound.
Oregon basketball with freshman Lloyd bringing up the floor with Singler, Strobridge, Williams, and Narrett.
I would say Strobridge would be a guy that I would look to try and get an open jump shot, except for the fact he's defended by Marcus Simmons, the Pac-10's best defensive player.
First game attendance at Matthew Knight Arena, 12,364, and you can see the guys in yellow. That's the pit crew, the students and they gobble up the 1,800 available immediately.
7 minutes. It went on sale. 7 minutes later, they were all gone. But now E.J. Singler trying to post up against Dante Smith, draws the foul, and you know, the Pac-10's leading free throw shooter, about 86%. So this is as good as gold for Oregon, especially with the way they struggled over the last 6-7 minutes. It's that delay to score points.
Singler knocks it down. Big free throws push the lead back to 7 at the 3.5-minute mark.
Still a little bottom pressure by Dana Altman. And at some point, I think he may back off of that, give him a little bit of a different look, a little bit of a travel.
Nice defense by Tyrone Narrett. Blocks Nikola Vucevic.
But Simmons got a break there, shuffled his feet just a little bit, but there's Narrett, Tyrone, Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
You love that name. That's the 5th time you said Woonsocket.
Woonsocket. Here's a guy you got to be concerned with also. You know, Dante Smith down the stretch with his ability to knock down 3-point shots.
So hot in the first half, very quiet in the second half. He's 0 for 6 from the floor in the second half after being perfect from the field. Wow. Well, they found a way of getting out in his face defensively.
A lot of open shots in that first half for Dante, and he made them recognize and contest the challenge. But I'm just so impressed with Maurice Jones. Quiet first half of this game, but now with the game on the line, he's done a terrific job of asserting himself, drawing contact, getting to the free throw line, knocked down a couple of shots, 3-point shot being one of them.
All of his points have come in the second half.
He's picked up his pressure defensively against Jonathan Lloyd, which keeps a guy like Lloyd from really picking up a head of steam and attacking you on offense. And he's got to kind of side saddle, bring the ball to the floor.
Lloyd with the left hand, no. Singler goes for the rebound. Narrett rips it down instead and flips it out to a teammate. That'll use up clock, and Dana Altman said, fellas, let's use the clock, run the offense.
You still have to execute and get a good shot. Too much time to put it in the deep freeze.
Oregon has 2 point guards on the floor in Armstead and Lloyd. Narrett grabs the miss. Try it again. Why not?
Looking for a shot clock reset. I don't know if the officials saw the ball hit the basket. It did on a pass attempt hit the rim. I'm not sure if that's the issue that he's discussing. But the underneath official, I could see how he may have missed the ball hitting the rim.
But if it did hit the rim and it's Oregon basketball, they've got a chance to take a full minute and 10 seconds off the clock because they have had 2 important offensive rebounds on this trip down the floor.
Just all out of pure hustle. E.J. Singler keeping the basketball alive. Tyrone Narrett using his length and athleticism to secure the rebound.
The first game at Matthew Knight Arena has been an A+. Tremendous pregame show. Awesome energy by the pit crew, led by the guy in the middle, the Duck, the great mascot here in Eugene, Oregon.
I'll tell you another subtle adjustment Kevin O'Neill has made, Steve. He's gone small for about the last 10 minutes or so of this game. We've been able to match up with the Oregon speed and giving him some more penetrators on the floor.
Once again, the officials, David Hall, Frank Harvey, and Scott Twardowski are meeting at midcourt to see if the ball hit the rim and where the shot clock would be. They say it did not hit the rim, so they'll go from 33 seconds left in the shot clock down to 12.
Interesting.
Shot clock has 12 seconds remaining.
Lloyd to inbound.
Jonathan Lloyd trying to explain to the official that the ball hit the rim.
Narrett drives, loses the ball, picked up by Oregon. It's a shot clock violation, but Maurice Jones flips it ahead to Dante Smith.
Keandre Williams tried to throw it up there to the rim.
Vucevic short. Oregon rebounding. And a foul is called on Marcus Simmons.
And that's another questionable call in my mind. Looked like two Oregon guys got tangled up going for that defensive rebound, but Marcus Simmons, with his aggressiveness, gets the foul called against him. Oregon has a chance, I believe, with E.J. Singler shooting free throws to build upon this lead. So that's a big break for the Ducks at this stage of the game.
He had to foul the best foul shooter in the Pac-10 Conference, E.J. Singler, who's made 86% of his foul shots this year.
We've seen E.J. kind of a pattern in his play. It takes him a little while to kind of figure things out. It happened with Duke, happened with Missouri.
Wow, he misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and USC has a chance to cut into that lead even more. Still a two-possession game. Marcus Simmons on the drive gets fouled, and Marcus will go to the free throw line. Now, he is not really an offensive player, more from a defensive role, but he is a solid foul shooter. Not great at 67%.
Their standards are pretty low. No, I'm just kidding. 67%. So,
misses the first. No time to panic. Still 1:42 on that clock, and Marcus talking to himself. That's the scene he looks into at the foul line. They don't make it easy at the new Matt Arena. 1 of 2. Full court pressure. Modest.
Token pressure again, just to give the Ducks something to look at, and to me, more importantly, slow down this guy Jonathan Lloyd and make him have to initiate, run some offense.
Armstead backs it out and then throws a poor pass into the corner for E.J. Singler.
I was going to say, that's the matchup that USC wants. And Armstead trying to break down Marcus Simmons, the best defender in the Pac-10, along with Justin Holiday out of the University of Washington. But it's just a tough guy, man-to-man, to get a good look off of. Forces Armstead into the turnover.
Altman shouting to his defense, get your hands up.
Especially against this guy, Dante Smith, on the same side as a post feeder as Nikola Vucevic. And now you got Gio Fontaine. There's another travel. That's about the third time it's happened. First time it's been called.
Are you surprised that a defensive player, Marcus Simmons, has attacked the basket twice the last two possessions?
Well, he's not the guy. He's normally the decoy guy. You got Fontaine back on the floor. You got Dante Smith, a terrific outside shooter, even though he's been cold. Nikola Vucevic, Marcus Simmons, Maurice Jones on the floor. Marcus Simmons, even though he's had some success the last couple of minutes, he's not the guy.
Right now, they're keeping it in the hands of their best foul shooters.
You got a foul. I believe you're down 4. Kevin O'Neal's going to gamble and play it out. Obviously, if you're Oregon, you got to wait to the very last moment, which gives Kevin O'Neal a chance to go down and score, and then foul with enough time to have an impact on this game.
Armstead is fouled, taking it to the basket, will be at the free throw line. Ducks leading by 4 points. The foul was called against Nikola Vucevic, his second personal foul of the game.
See the left arm kind of pushing Malcolm Armstead as he attacks the basket. Now, you foul early in the possession. You save yourself if you're USC about 25 seconds.
Misses the first. Even if he makes the next, it's still a two-possession game. Coming into the contest is Garrett Jackson. Marcus Simmons will lead. Armstead makes 1 of 2.
A little bit more offense on the floor for Kevin O'Neal with Garrett Jackson out there. He can stretch you out and knock down the three-point shot.
What a steal for Oregon!
Mo Jones penetrates. Not strong with the basketball. Big time turnover. An opportunity for E.J. Singler to seal the deal here with 22 seconds left.
Do you know what's remarkable about this game, Marcus? Oregon is going to go the last 9 minutes without a field goal and maybe win this game. This is not like him.
Best free throw shooter. Pressure is something else. It will bust a pipe and make great free throw shooters average free throw shooters.
He has missed 3 tonight, 5 for 8. Misses both. USC given a chance. Maurice Jones with the basketball to Gio Fontaine, who misses the 3. Vucevic though tries to pick him up and gets fouled. 13.1 seconds left with Oregon leading by 5 points. Nikola Vucevic can make it a 3-point game.
How tough is that for the Oregon Duck? Faithful is E.J. Singler, 86%, #1 free throw shooter in the Pac-10. Misses the front end of a 1-and-1. That could have increased the lead to a 2-possession game. That time missed both free throws. That could have put this game into the two-possession area.
Vucevic, 77% foul shooter.
He comes in with that sea of yellow, the pit crew behind the basket. Calmly sinks the first, just seems totally unflustered, unperturbed.
Singler grabs the miss, and E.J. gets fouled. Now he has a chance to try and seal the deal.
I tell you, they don't get any easier, especially after missing your last 3 and you know, your mind kind of playing tricks on you and talking to you. Dana Altman, doing a good thing. He's talking to E.J., just kind of settling him down. Look, 15 feet from the basket. Same shot you make 86% of the time. Get up there, son, and knock him down. Let's go home.
E.J.'s brother Kyle lost for Duke last night.
Settle down. Let's go home.
E.J. can seal the deal and pull the upset of his own against a very good USC team.
Very subtle maneuver by Dana Altman, but you know, it really helps a player for your coach to get you over there, talk to you, settle you down, give you that confidence you need to knock down the 2 big freebies down the stretch. That's
Altman knows it's a 2-possession game. What do you look for the last 12 seconds of the game, Marcus?
Well, you know, I think USC is in a position now where they've got to take the first good 3-point shot available. Maybe try and call a timeout, get a foul quickly, and then see if this Oregon team can have some more success at the free throw line as E.J. Singler showed on that possession.
But this has been a tremendous effort, an incredible evening for Phil Knight and the state of Oregon.
And to cap it off with a win over a very good USC basketball team would just make it even more special. So you got to love the effort of these Oregon kids, the way they've come out and performed.
The Duck believes who's had a busy week. He was down in Phoenix, Arizona for the national championship game where the Ducks lost by just 3 points in the final play of the game to the Auburn Tigers. But here tonight on a Thursday night Pac-10 hoops, it's Oregon trying to pull the upset.
But pressure without fouling. If you're Oregon, do not give USC a clean look at the basket.
Dante Smith missing. Narrett trying for the rebound. And the ball is gone. The game is over. And in the debut of Matthew Knight Arena, Oregon has their biggest win of the year.
Are undefeated in the Matthew Knight Arena.
Terrific job by the Oregon Ducks. Went pretty down the stretch. Missed free throws. They scored with one field goal in the last 10 minutes or so. But they found a way to get it done again against a very good USC basketball team.
Let's go to Rebecca Harlow, who's with the winning coach Dana Altman.
Coach, USC certainly made this game interesting, but how did your squad will this victory down the stretch?
Well, we made some big plays, and the guys played for each other and really took a big step. You know, we've had trouble closing games, and we showed that tonight, but guys found a way, got some big stops, and it's a really good win for our people. They've been so great to us, and big win for our program.
It's an unbelievable win for the program. Now that you've experienced Matthew Knight Arena, what can you say about the energy in this
Well,
building?
it was great energy tonight. The people were great, and students willed us through it, so it was a great team effort, and the people got it for us.
You get a win under your belt tonight. You can thank the entire city for coming out for that one. How How much confidence do you get heading into UC?
Well, this will help us. We've really struggled, and we haven't been able to hit any shots. We hit a few more shots tonight, so it'll really help us. It'll really help us.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Rebecca. Dana Altman said yesterday someone's got to step up for the injured Jovan Catron, and 4 Ducks were in double figures tonight.
Have a great evening.